Hello again everyone, Deflect here, Firm but Fair Gaming. I want to bring you a video. This is going to be a World of Warcraft build video on the Beastmaster Hunter. If you don't know about the Beastmaster, it's not top tier for DPS, but it's very good DPS, and the reason it can get such great DPS is there is not one single ability on your cast bar that you can't cast while moving. This is unlike almost any other range spec in the game. I don't believe there's any range spec that can cast 100% of their spells while moving except Beastmaster Hunter. Now I'm going to give you a quick rundown of some of the pets you'll want when you're Beastmaster. As you can see, you get two pets. I have a toad just because it's extremely hard to target in PvP, so it's a little annoyance. That's why I run the toad here. For the other pet, if you are soloing, if you have any challenging items where you think your tank is going to die a lot, a Clefhoof is very important to have. These are the tankiest pets in the game. There's a couple of reasons for it, and it's just on their pet abilities. Blood of the Rhino, Clefhoof has 10% additional armor and increases the effectiveness of healing by 20%. So every time you heal it, it gets 20% more healing than any other pet would. It is still a ferocity pet, so you still get lust. Another key thing. And there's thick hide. When falling below 40% health, the Clefhoof's skin will thicken, granting 60% reduced incoming damage for 15 seconds. Only can occur once every 2 minutes. Very, very good. It stops it from taking huge amount of damage every 2 minutes. If your tank isn't going to die, or if you're not doing that much solo content where you're running into that many elite mobs and you think you need a tankiest pet ever, the second option is a Core Hound. Core Hounds will net you slightly, ever so slightly. Don't say you need to run with this for DPS, but it will slightly help your DPS a little bit with a couple items. They have Obsidian Skin, suddenly cools and hardens the magma skin on it, reducing damage taken by 50% for 12 seconds. So again, like the Clefhoof. But it also has, when the Core Hound takes melee attacks, it infuses its hide with molten lava, causing 203 fire damage to all further melee attackers for 10 seconds. Can occur once a minute. So 1 out of 6 seconds you will have this up, and if something attacks or hits your Core Hound, it will take burn damage. Not much, but hey, every little bit helps. And lastly, it also has Lust, but if you don't need Lust and you have a group of mage, a shaman or something, and you're doing some high keys, I usually push mythic keys. That's what I usually do in the game. You will want a Spirit Beast. Now, there are some easy Spirit Beasts to get. This one is not the easiest, but this is one I have equipped. The big reason you want it is for Spirit Men. You can heal yourself for basically 4,500 health over 10 seconds. Not the biggest heal, but every heal counts when you're a hunter. They are very squishy, maybe the squishiest class in the game, and it gives you a defensive reduce all damage you and your pet take by 20% for 6 seconds. So gives you 2 bonuses on a little bit of survivability there. So that covers up your pets. I'll dive into the talents. You'll want to take Animal Companion. You can read these at your own time. I'll give you just the keys. Scent of the Blood. So just every time you use Beast Wrath, it will give you 2 more barb shots. You want to make sure you use all your barb shots, then click Beast Wrath. Camouflage, because there will be always something you want to camouflage by in the dungeon. Thrill of the Hunt. Barb Shot increases your critical chance by 3% for 8 seconds, stacking 3 times. Very good. Binding Shot, so you can bind all the targets in place before you dump wild spirits on them. Stump, when you cast Barb Shot, your pet stomps the ground, dealing, call it 1,000 physical damage to all nearby enemies. This is a necessity. It just gives you a little more AoE. Aspect of the Beast, increase the damage and healing of your pet's abilities by 30%. This is a must. A must is Aspect of the Beast. I'm not going to go into the PvP section just because this is a PvE guide. But there's a couple things I want to point out for a rotation. Barb Shot will be your main one. You will go to Barb Shot a lot. You want to always have You can see your pet gets an increased frenzy, so he gets frenzy from your barb shot. So you always want to have this at 3 when you can get it there, and it will count down. But see how I have an extra stack? You want to use these barb shots before you bestial wrath because you get 2 more with that talent, but keeping it at 3. So your priority is always to have this ticking with 1 in it. So there's 3 left. Click again so you have 1, and keep watching the countdown. And then keep making sure you always have 1 being used. Making sure your beasts always have 3 frenzy, and you have to use your barb shot. That is your priority. Barb shot will be your priority, as it does many things that are great. It also reduces the cooldown of Beast Wrath by 12 seconds. So every time you click that, you reduce Beast Wrath by 12 seconds, and then Beast Wrath resets your barbs to 2. So it's it's an endless cycle of barb shot Beast Wrath. Now with 3 or more, that is your #1 priority, is always barb shot, always making sure you have 3 frenzy or 3 stacks of frenzy on your targets. Other than that, your next thing to keep up, if there's 3 or more targets, will be multi-shot. Multi-shot has the beast cleave. Beast cleave is only 4 seconds long, very quick, but you will want to keep it up. After your priority of barb shot to multi-shot on multi-targets, it will be Beast Wrath, which is a necessity as well. And then you will just go down the list farther to Aspect of the Wild. I have it built into a macro. Don't forget your Lust if you need it. Your Kill command will come next. And then Barb Shot and Cobra Shot is just to fill in while you are trying to... Once you have Kill command used, Barb Shot will just reduce the cooldown of Kill command. So that's your priority sequence. I'll get into rotation in a second. I just want to show you quickly the gear you'll be going for. Now, I am a mech gnome, and there is reason for being a mech gnome, and that is combat analysis. You gather and analyze combat data every 5 seconds, increasing your primal stat by 4. Or primary stat by 4, stacking up to 10 times. So you can get 40 extra primary stat, which will be my agility, which will give me more damage if you're in combat for basically a minute. So that is very good to have. That's why I'm a mech gnome, strictly that right there. The other one, the emergency failsafe, is nice. When you fall below 20% health, heal for 15% of your maximum health. This effect cannot occur more than once every 2.5 minutes. It's just kind of a small cheat death. Yeah, it's okay. It just helps a little bit. It's not going to be game-changing by any means, but you also have the mage ability. Duplicate to distract your foes. The mirror image of mages, you can use it here. And mirror image yourself, so it'll distract people from attacking you. So, for... priority list, because I am running Master Rylak Stalker as my legendary, while Bestial Wrath is active, your pet critical damage dealt is increased by 35%. I stack crit. So, crit damage 35% better, stack crit. So way to go. I have 28% crit so far, 17% haste. You will want your haste at a minimum 15%. I'm just over that at 17, but you'll want it at a minimum 15. And then basically whatever else you just have, put it into mastery versatility. So it'll be crit is the greatest, then haste, then mastery versatility, or even for your stat priority. Again, item level is going to be a big thing because agility, it does a lot of damage for you. As you can see, most of my gear is pretty decent. There is a sore spot, and that is a bow. I had a couple buddies help me out getting this from PvP because I don't PvP a lot, but we were able to get to 1400, and I could at least get this because for 14 weeks I have not been able to get a bow drop at all from anything. Couldn't upgrade it with Valor. So since Valor came out, I haven't been able to get a bow drop at all. So I had to go grind one from PvP. That's basically how I have something better than a 194. 194 was my best that I currently had before. But if you get any gem slots, I enchant your boots with agility, your rings with haste. I did haste and crit just to get me around that 17%. I like 17, that's what I run. My change it to crit, but it's not going to be game changing at that point. I also run the infragreen reflex sight and the shadowgrass totem. I'm not totally sold on this, so I might be changing this out for chains. But I have the anima charge battery, which is nice for a whole lot of haste, 403 haste every minute and a half. For your chest, you'll want to enchant it with primal stats. That's just a given. And your back, I did stamina and leech. So those will be your enchants and the gear. And for your basic rotation, this is how I start off when I'm going into a mob situation. So this will be 3 or more enemies, wild spirits, and then I hit them with a bestial or a barb shot, a multi-shot, a barb shot, a bestial wrath, barb shot, and then multi-shot, kill command, and then barb shot if it's up. That's how I run mine, trying to keep my multi-shot and barb shot up, making sure my pets have 3 frenzy, and then making sure that we're keeping cleave up along with the frenzy up. So that's basically your idea when you go into a pack of 4 or more targets. Always making sure you have cleave and always making sure you have frenzy up. If you're going to solo, you just take out the multi-shot and replace the multi-shot with kill command, and then cobra shot being your last priority there. So it'd be barb shot and then kill command, cobra shot, barb shot, kill command, cobra shot, and rinse and repeat. Always making sure, again, you have 3 stacks of frenzy like this, your kill command, barb shot to reduce the kill command, and then beast wrath when it's up. So I have a macro that has saved me more times than not, because I built into my macro, I built in some trinkets, and I built in my misdirect and my aspect of the wild, because instead of just hitting these all the time, it is very easy to not get enough aspects of the wild in, because then you think about saving it, and then you think about, you know, not using it at this time. Well, I should use it this time, not this time. Aspects of the wild grant you and your pet 5 focus per second and 10% increased critical strike for 20 seconds. I use this on cooldown. Literally on cooldown, it is getting used in my macro. And that is essentially so I just keep using it. And it just is a great benefit to have in the macro. And a lot of macros, I don't know. I use mine solely so I don't have to keep running around hitting. I can focus on doing a rotation and keeping my rotation as best as I can do. If you have any questions, or if you'd like me to share, I can show you my macro. It's a bit of a pain for some of them, because my misdirect is also built in, and to build in your misdirect it's a little tricky, but it makes it easy once you've done it. I just select a target, I misdirect to it, and it's, you know, misdirect target, cleave damage, training dummy, and then every time I misdirect, it will then go automatically to the target. Every time I use Bestial Wrath, I have it set into my Bestial Wrath because it's a 1 minute 30 second cooldown, but I get it down to about a minute, and misdirect is only 30 seconds, so I can actually get this pretty low. Might even be able to get it down to 45 seconds, so I'm misdirecting all the time. I actually hit a lot of misdirects in a dungeon. In a 32-minute dungeon, I average about 48 to 50 misdirects, which is a lot more than I used to, having to do it manually than clicking on a target. So, just something to keep an eye out. I only have to click the button, and if it's up on my Bestial Wrath, it will automatically misdirect when it's available. So, as long as I keep clicking the Bestial Wrath, even though it's not set, it will use it when it's available. Now, if there's anything else you'd need to see or have any questions, leave a comment below. And once again, this was Deflect, Firm But Fair Gaming. We'll see you in the next video.